Hey everybody, it's Thomas at Get Out Arizona in partnership with Photo Forum once again, and you're watching another great episode of Garage Talk. So let's get on it. Now, today we're going to be talking about the Canon R100 entry-level crop sensor, aps-c sensor, mirrorless camera, their newest addition to the R system, the R mount system. And before we go any further, full disclosure, Canon's not paying me to do this review, neither is Photo Forum. Canon did not give me this camera. This is actually a loaner from Photo Forum, and it will go back as soon as this review's done, okay? Canon nor Photo Forum are gonna see this review before I post it, okay? And my thoughts are my own, all right? They're not for sale as far as that goes. Now, that being said, we can talk freely about this camera. As of this video and of release date, this camera with this lens, which is the 18 to 45 kit lens, which has a full frame equivalent of 24 to 70, roughly. Canon's got that funky 1.6 crop. As far as that goes, I'll have the exact equivalency somewhere off to here, is $599. $600, my friends, for a crop sensor camera, R mount camera, okay? It's actually pretty darn good, okay? There's some things that it does not have compared to the R50, all right? But that's okay. It's not trying to be the R50. This is actually taking the place of the Rebel series cameras and the M series cameras. And it unified the entire mount, okay? So unlike before, we had EF, EFS, and EFM, now there's only R. And for those old enough to know the movie Highlander, there can be only one. I know, that was bad. I'm sorry, guys. Trying to add a little bit of humor to it. Now, I shoot Sony cameras professionally, and I've done the review on several Canon cameras now and a couple of the Fuji cameras and everything like that. Canon has a great ecosystem as far as full entry level and the R100 to the R3, okay? There's nobody that can compete. Sony doesn't have an entry-level camera, and even them just releasing the 6700, I wouldn't call that entry-level, and it certainly doesn't have an entry-level price at $1299 without a lens. This is a $600, fairly well-featured camera that not only gives you the capability to have an interchangeable lens system, okay, it gets you into a very prestigious ecosystem in the Canon R mount lenses, all right? Amazing glass. Canon's always made amazing glass, and so you have a lot of advantages, but we're going to talk about some of the disadvantages as well as we go through. So some of the highlights, obviously, compact. Holy smokes, this thing is tiny, all right? Fits in my hand, it's lightweight, you can easily throw it in your bag, backpack, book bag, whatever. It's not going to weigh you down by any stretch of the imagination. We have no weather sealing on this camera. Again, at $600, it is what it is. So I wouldn't be taking it out in any, thunderstorms anytime soon. Very affordable, we already spoke about that. Now, it's the lightest and the smallest of the R series cameras. The R50, a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier. Comes with a few more features though, so that's to be expected as well. This has a 24 megapixel sensor, and it's using the Digix 8 processor, if I remember correctly, and my notes are correct. Hopefully they are. If they're not, if anything's like wrong what I'm saying, guys, I'm gonna have a little slider here for you, because I try to remember all this stuff, and I try to write down, key talking points in my notes and everything. Sometimes doesn't quite happen that way. This is going to have dual pixel autofocus, which is really nice, and it's going to cover 143 zones of the sensor. So when we talk about sensor coverage, we're in the high 90s or low 90s as far as sensor coverage goes. But again, we're talking entry-level crop sensor camera, my friends. This isn't the R3 that has like a 98% coverage, I think, of that sensor, which is just ridiculous as far as that goes. This is going to shoot 6.5 frames per second. We'll call it 6 frames per second, still photography. This will shoot 4K video, but not 10-bit, all right? I wanna be very clear about that. This will also do face and eye detection, but you are not going to have some of the other focusing capabilities like bird and animal, stuff like that, which maybe Canon will add in a later firmware update, but it's going to be pretty basic as far as what it's able to accomplish. Now, we do have the creative look system that you could do in here. We do have 4K video, but it is cropped at 24 frames a second. And we do have 1080 video that is up to 60 frames a second, all right? That is not cropped. So if you're shooting 1080, no crop, up to 60 frames a second. If you're shooting 4K, you're cropped, additional crop, and you're at 24 frames a second. And in my testing, I did not get this to overheat. There was a couple times where the warning came on, but to its credit, it did very well. And if you guys are curious where I tested this camera, I tested it out on the trail, okay? I'll have a card up here to my on-trail videos that you can see the stuff that I go out and do. That's where all these cameras get tested, okay? I put them through the ringer. And if it can handle life out on the trail with me, then, you know, hey, it's pretty darn good in my opinion as far as that goes. We've got a OLED viewfinder. It's not the best, but it's certainly not the worst. You know, they could have done a lot worse, in my opinion. And the viewfinder does have a diopter, so we can tune this, the viewfinder to our eye. It supports a smartphone connection with the Canon app, so if you want to hook your phone up to it, Samsung or your iPhone or your Google phone, and you can use that as a trigger, start, stop, record, transfer photos, all that good stuff. You could do that with a phone app, as well as hooking up a wireless trigger remote or a wired remote to this camera. The back panel, it's not that bad, okay? There's certainly, and I'm gonna put the resolution off to the side exactly, you know, what the resolution is. It's acceptable, okay? A lot of people now, I've seen some reviews on this camera where a lot of people, well, not a lot, some people bashed it, okay? And Canon cut corners here and Canon cut corners there. Sure, they could have done an articulating screen. Now we have increase in price, and not the price point of, you know, $600, $599. Sure, they could have added some of those focusing features that we see in the R50, okay, or the R10, and then again, we're cannibalizing a line, and Canon's not going to do that, and we're adding cost. I saw one review where they complained that this didn't have IBIS. It only has digital stabilization, which has an additional crop, mind you, but you know, even the R8 doesn't have IBIS, okay? To get IBIS, you have to jump up to the R7 or the R6 Mark II. Now, for this camera, am I upset that it doesn't have IBIS? No, I was more upset that the R8 didn't have IBIS as far as that goes, because in 2023, there's no excuse for that. But again, to maintain the size and the price point, Canon had to remove these features, okay? Where there's no articulating screen, all right? This is it, flat, you know, not a touch screen either, okay? So you are completely reliant on your buttons and your wheels to make menu selections. And again, I'm not disappointed in it, you know? For $600, it's a darn good camera. Now, some people, you know, there's a couple of reviews where it was like, they were comparing it to the iPhone, the iPhone 14 Pro Max, okay? Yes, and mine's a 12. I'm just holding it up because it's an iPhone. But yes, the iPhone 14 Pro Max does take better video than this, absolutely. But when it comes to picture quality, when they were saying, oh, it takes a better photo, I'm like, dude, do you even know how to take a photo? Because this takes pretty darn good photos. And comparing them side by side, you know, I was a little salty on that. I think it was disingenuous. I think they were trying to really throw shade on this camera where it didn't deserve it. I will tell you the one thing that this does have over the iPhone. One, we have all the different focusing modes, okay? iPhone has some, but certainly not to the degree that this has. But two is this right here, okay? This is a mechanical zoom. And with this camera, I can get the 24 to 105, the 70 to 200, the 100 to 500. I could take amazing photos with this camera, okay? You will not be able to tell the difference between those photos and maybe photos from, you know, an Sony a7 IV or a Nikon Z6 Mark II or even a Canon R6 Mark II, okay? So as far as saying that this is all around better than this, no, pros and cons. It's always pros and cons. So I think some of those reviewers are being a little bit disingenuous. When it comes to quality image, now, like I said, I put a good lens on here, it's going to be indistinguishable, especially for what? What do we do? Social media. Everybody does social media, okay? Compression and everything like that, guys, it really doesn't matter as far as that goes, okay? You'll never tell the difference. Now, as far as video goes, you were shooting 8-bit video out of this thing. There is no 10-bit. And where I saw the best video come from this was shooting it in the standard profile with no HDR, no additional saturation, nothing. Standard profile, boom, you're done. And adjusting maybe some contrast, a little bit of saturation in post, whatever you can, but with 8-bit video, it's hard. It's very hard to do because the image starts to fall apart just like a JPEG does when you try to edit that in post as opposed to a raw image. But it still wasn't that bad. And for social media, it's gonna be just fine. Are you filming your next feature movie with this? No, not at all. But that's not why you're buying this camera either, my friends. So I urge you to temper your expectations and love this little guy for what it can do. Don't hate it for what it can't, because at the end of the day, this is a very capable entry-level crop sensor mirrorless camera from Canon. And for the things I would point out that are bad about it, I have to bring everybody back to the fact that it's a $600 camera. Now, am I gonna run out and buy one of these? No, again, I'm a Sony shooter, so it doesn't make any sense. Who would I recommend this camera to? Well, if you come into the camera shop and you say, hey, my budget is, $400 to $600, and we have people come in all the time. We don't sell DSLRs anymore, so this is it as far as that goes. Now, at that point, this is the camera I'm gonna recommend. For someone who has no photography experience at all, okay, or maybe the parent whose child is taking a photography class in high school for the first time, okay, this is a great learning camera. This is a mirrorless embodiment of what that Rebel line of cameras from Canon was, and that was a legendary line. The Rebel T7, oh my gosh, people still rock that thing all the time. We just sold the last of our Rebel T7s to Xavier High School as far as that goes. So, at that point, we're really not losing out on the photography experience with this camera, the ability to learn with this camera more importantly, because everything you learn on this camera, you can take with you to a full frame pro body, okay? Absolutely. Does it lack some of the creature comforts of a higher end full frame camera? Of course it does. But again, that's not what this camera was meant to be. So again, I say, love it for what it is, which is completely capable, all right? I adore this little guy. Don't hate it for what it's not, all right? That's just not how it should be as far as anything goes. So, all right, well, before we get to some closing thoughts about the R100, let's talk about our partner, PhotoForum. Now, PhotoForum has been serving the photography community here in the Valley of the Sun for over 50 years. That's what we refer to as far as the Phoenix metro area for those that are out of state. And here in the last couple years, our local videographers, we have a growing, busting videography and cinematography scene here in Phoenix, and we're happy to be a part of it, seriously guys. So whether you're doing photography, whether you're rocking a cinema camera or a mirrorless hybrid camera to shoot that masterpiece on, come in. We're a community shop. You can ask the questions. We'll have answers for you. And if we don't have answers for you, we'll get them for you. That's what we do. We have group activities with photo walks, group hikes, mountain bike rides. If you're a mountain bike rider, get out of Arizona, that's me. Our reps are very interactive. They come in at least once a quarter, which is great, and we do a lot of fun activities with them. We have contests, we have giveaways, we have all kinds of stuff, my friends. That's what we're about, okay? A safe haven to learn, and sometimes we learn too. You guys can be teachers as well, okay? It goes both ways, and it's a whole lot of fun. So come check us out. There's a link down below, and it's gonna be our Instagram, our social media. You'll see me on there. You can call the shop, or if you're in town, you can come visit. And guys, I have customers from Flagstaff, Page, Navajo Nation, friggin' up there up north near the New Mexico border, Douglas, Tucson, Santa Cruz, my side of town, Surprise, El Mirage, Sedona, all over the state, guys, okay? They come in. Why? Because we're awesome, and I'm not afraid to admit it, so. But come in and see for yourself, seriously. So, all right, now, final word. If you're just starting out, and when people come into the camera shop and they look to buy a camera, one of the first things I ask is, what's your budget, okay? Because I don't want to explode somebody's budget. But I always tell people, buy as much camera as you can afford, okay? So we're, to a degree, future-proofing your purchase and adding value to your investment. Because this is an investment, my friend. 600 bucks is not chump change. I don't care what anybody says. It's an investment. And we want to make sure you are getting the most out of your investment. And so for someone who comes in who's just starting out, you know, maybe they don't know if they want to do it for a profession. Maybe they just want to be a hobbyist, you know, or an enthusiast at some point. You know, they upgrade the camera and, hey, I'm happy where I'm at, and they're just doing it for that. Guys, we have people come in the shop all the time who have amazing images that are not professional photographers, okay? Whatever your end goal is, if you're just starting out, this is a great place to start. I really, really do like this camera on the R100. It adds value, okay? Even though it's missing some of those creature comforts, I still don't look at it as a loss or a disappointment. I look at this as a great entry-level camera for $599, and it's something to grow with, all right? So, like, subscribe, bell notification icon, all right? Helps out the channel, helps out the video, which is the trifecta we love as far as that goes. Link for social media, for Photo Forum. Hit it, follow it, show us some love there. We got Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, the devil's work for Get Out Arizona, but it's how you're gonna find out about our group hikes, group rides, photo walks, all the fun stuff we do on Get Out Arizona in conjunction with Photo Forum, okay? It's all gonna be there on our social media. The other links down below are affiliate links. If you make a qualifying purchase, we receive a small commission that helps out with gas money, park passes, and coffee money, the second trifecta we love so much here, but you will not be charged any additional money, which is a good thing. So, on that note, my friends, what do we always say? Seriously, be kind to yourself and others. Be amazing stewards on that trail. And we have to ask, what are you waiting for? Get Out Arizona. We'll see you on that next adventure. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.